Hey guys, Ultraman52 here. Welcome to the long-awaited first part of my birthday pickups video. I also like to mention that I'm actually recording this video out of order. I've already pre-recorded part 2. That's been done, I think, like over a week now. I think I've had that recorded. It's already edited and rendered are ready to go and upload. I just have yet to do part 1, which is this one right here. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so I kind of want to be pretty brief on literally everything I got. So I want to keep this video as short as possible, like under 10 minutes, because I like to ramble, as you guys know. First off, got a CD. Picked up The Weeknd, The Highlights. This is basically a greatest hits album of all The Weeknd songs. Some of his great music in here, like The Hills, Blinding Lights, Can't Feel My Face. After Hours. Surprisingly, that Faith is not on here from his most recent album, which is his After Hours album. After Hours and Faith are two of my all-time favorite songs he's done, but still really awesome. I'm a huge fan of The Weeknd. I don't really like, newer hip-hop and rap now, but The Weeknd is like the only guy that's newer rap and hip-hop wise that I'll actually listen to. Okay, so now we're getting on to the two games I got. First off, picked up Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've only had about 4 hours in this game, and just from those 4 hours, I think it's pretty fun. You basically play as a Jedi who's on the run from the Empire, and throughout the whole entire game, you're learning new Force powers and customizing your lightsaber. So it is really cool. It's a really fun game. I have heard this game does have a lot of mixed reviews, but I'm enjoying it for what it is. I don't think it's a fantastic game, but I think it's really fun. But still, pretty damn cool. Got that from my friend Brian. And the other game I got, this one I got from my friend Neil, picked up Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I believe this is a remake, I want to say. I'm pretty sure, it says remastered in full HD, so pretty sure that the original game I think might have been on maybe like the PS2. I also want to say it might have been on the DS or 3DS. I'll provide a little annotation or subtitle right here when the original game was actually first released, like what console it was on. But still pretty cool. I love the Tales of series, all freaking amazing games. So yeah, very happy to have that. And both those two PS4 games I showed, this one and Star Wars, both came brand new factory sealed, so awesome. And this one's a really cool item. This one came to me from my friend Brian. He gives me out of his own personal collection, and that means a whole entire lot. It is a book called Collecting Japanese Movie Monsters. I believe this book was published in, I want to say, from what I saw via the copyright date, it did say, I think, 1996, I think? Yeah, 1996. But basically what this book is, it's kind of a, I guess I want to make like a guide. Well, not really a guide, but more like an overview on just the history of Japanese giant monsters and the figures. This also shows, yes, it says here, complete current value guide to action figures, toys, games, puzzles, movie posters, lobby cards, programs, videos, books, comics, magazines, records, and CDs, keychains, cups, t-shirts, and godzillions of monstrous collectibles. Basically, yeah, that's what it's kind of like. When it says current, complete current values, that's obviously not true now, because this book was again released in 1996. So the values of probably a lot of these posters and all that stuff have probably gone up by a crap ton by now. But still, a very, very cool book. Here's like one. Here's some of the posters they show. They didn't show all the prices for them all. This shows, like I said, from toys, not only from like Bandai, but also Marmot, M1, Poppy. A lot of figures are in here, and it's a really, really cool book. I definitely recommend this book. Unfortunately, though, this book is very hard to find now. It's been out of print for years, so finding a mint-condition copy of that book is extremely hard to find. But I do recommend that book. It is a really cool little, I guess, guide to show you what those figures or what that memorabilia used to actually cost when when that book was first came out. But you can also use that as a guide to maybe try to get some stuff like what you want to pay for, like what you want to pay for it or whatever. So, still, really cool book. I highly recommend that book, but again, good luck trying to find it. Okay, so now we're going to show off two model-related ymits. Both are actually resins. They are actually resin head busts. The first one is actually a resin head bust of the Ymir. I think that's how I pronounce it. It's a creature from an old 50s sci-fi film called 20 Million Miles to Earth. As you can see, yes, he does not have a bottom jaw. Here's the bottom jaw right here. You actually have to pre-paint the bottom jaw first, then of course paint the whole head, and then you maybe have to maybe thicken the peg or loosen up or something like that. Then basically you just gotta super glue the peg, super glue the bottom jaw into the mouth, and then boom, it's done. But still really cool. I do have a couple high resolution reference pictures of this thing. Of the creature, so I do know what it's supposed to look like via color-wise. And the other one that I got, this one I'm currently painting. It is a resin head bust of Shin Godzilla. Yeah. As you can see, it's kind of like right now, it's a bit of a dark brown. I forget what color. I think it was black. Yeah, I think it was black green. Sorry, black green, which is basically the color of Shin's whole entire body. I still have yet to paint the eyes, the teeth, and the spines and all that. I'm gonna be using some gory red or maybe even bloody red to paint his back here, because in the movie he's supposed to have like a open back, like it's an open wound, so it's all red and fleshy textured. I'm gonna be using bone white for the teeth and pure white for the eyes, maybe like a black dot there too. So I'm very excited to finish this thing. But yeah. So those two are the only model-related items I will show for this part of the video. Okay guys, so now we're going to show off the figures I got, and I only have 3, but this is the last 3 figures for the video, and we're pretty much at the end of the video now. So the first figure, guys, is my first ever third-party Transformers figure. We have the Planet X Kios. Picked this up from the Big Bad Toy Store. This is a third-party Transformer figure of the Transformers War for Cybertron / Fall Cybertron Shockwave, who a lot of you know is my favorite Transformer. And I do have him out of the box, and here he is right here. He is a very, very beautifully detailed figure, beautifully painted, beautifully sculpted. There is some issues I have with this figure. For one, his right thigh right here is extremely tight for no reason. I've tried to loosen up certain screws around that area to try and loosen it, and unfortunately, nothing came out of it, unfortunately. But that's kind of a running theme / a running issue really with Planet X. A lot of people have gotten a lot of their figures, not just Kios, but also other figures that they've done too, where sometimes they'll have very tight joints. And overly tight joints either in the arms or the waist or whatever, and usually the issue to fix that is just loosen up a screw or two and then boom, it's done. And sometimes even that's not enough, but still really cool, very awesome. Also, his gun arm is not very secure, it's just holding on by a very thin peg, so probably gonna have to put some super glue on that peg to kind of thicken it up. But still a very cool figure, again beautifully painted, beautifully sculpted and detailed, and just overall an amazing figure. Definitely going to be I have him put up in a spot where he's not going to fall, because again, that's a third-party figure and it was not cheap. That was $105 shipped from the Big Bad Toy Store. I know. Next, this one came from Brian's store, Models and Hobbies. Picked up the SH Monster Arts Nargacuga from the Monster Hunter series. This is just a box. I do have him out over here, but still very cool. Same thing with the Shockwave. He did have an issue when I first got him outside of the box. First off, here is the, make sure I don't hit Shockwave. Here he is right here. As you can see, very detailed, beautifully painted and sculpted. I love the face, it just looks so good and menacing. He did, like I said, have an issue. His right knee was too loose, actually, like really loose. I came home one day and he was just on the floor in pieces. So once I put him back together, I immediately determined that the issue was that bad knee. So once I got him back together, popped off the knee, took a little bit of super glue, took a toothpick, dabbed it in some super glue, went around the ball joint, let it harden up, popped it back in, and now the knee feels a lot more sturdy. So very awesome. So that's a tip for those of you who ever get this figure and you have like a loose knee or whatever. Just apply a little bit of super glue to the ball joint, let it dry, and you're good. But still, very awesome figure. Again, amazing detail, amazing paint job, beautifully sculpted, and I love it. They also have released 2 other Monster Hunter figures. One of they also did, of course, they did Nargacuga. They also did Zinogre and Rathalos. I'm gonna try and grab my hands on the Zinogre because I love Zinogre. So yeah, and the final figure and the final item for this video, again, hopefully it wasn't too long. This is a big boy. I think I paid like probably like a little over 300 for this thing. It is the newest addition to my very slowly growing Soul Chogokin collection. We have the Soul Chogokin GX59R Daltanius. Yeah, this thing just got released. This is actually in the retro box. So this is the first printing of this thing. When this does get reissued, because it will get reissued, it's most likely not going to come in the retro box. Because this is what the original box from back in like the 70s or 80s used. No, probably like to say the 70s. This is what the original box in the 70s looked like. And when it gets reissued, it's not going to most likely have this box. And the cool part about Soul Chogokin figures and just die-cast figures in general, they get more valuable over time. So this guy is going to become very hard to find very soon. And of course, I love me some combining giant robots. And yeah, again, love me some giant robot goodness. I do have him out, but he is in my glass case. When I do a proper collection tour video, I will show him off. Well, I didn't show actually the top of the box. Here's the top of the box of the old Daltanius right there. Yeah, he looks cool. And again, there's a good shot of him from the back. So yeah, there he is in all his coolness. But yeah, again, when I do a proper collection tour video, you'll see everything in my glass cases, and I'll show Daltanius in all his glory. I now have about 5 Soul Chogokin figures in my collection now. I have the Super Robot Chogokin, which is up there. The Super Robot Chogokin Daijujin, or the Megazord for Power Rangers. I also have the Soul Chogokin 1974 and 1975 Mechagodzilla. I, of course, have my Soul Chogokin Dairugger 15, or Vehicle Force Voltron. And now I have Daltanius. So yeah, my die-cast collection is slowly growing, but hopefully I do intend to buy more Soul Chogokin figures. I do want to get my hands on the Trider G7 one that just came out. I know they're going to be reissuing the Soul Chogokin Gao Gai Gar. That one I really want to get to because I'm a huge fan of Gao Gai Gar. More so Gao Gai Gar than Trider G7, even though I do know of Trider G7 and have watched only a bit of his series. I do like the look of Trider, so. But yes, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 2, which I will upload probably within the next week or so. Probably in like 1 week or whatever, just depends really. Yeah, I do intend to also upload an update video, probably in between this video and part 2, or maybe after part 2, I don't really know, regarding MetroCon and like all that stuff, because there is some big stuff happening there too. Yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you for all the birthday wishes that happened on my birthday. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and all that good jazz. Leave a comment down below too. Again, hope you guys all enjoyed. And of course also, I keep forgetting, following on all my social medias that are linked down below in the description box. So, hope you guys all enjoyed. And sayonara.